Hello, everybody, for a late Sunday night show. We're going to talk some World Cup, but as always, I don't do this by myself. Everybody say hello to everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Ed. Ed, how you feeling?
Not too good, Peter Brown. Ecuador just lost against Ivory Coast. They did a good job, but we'll talk about it in a little bit.
We'll get into all that. As always, jump into the comments and help drive this conversation. If you want to leave a voicemail, you could do that as well with calling 786-474-4435. Before we get too far, though, let's give a big shout out to our sponsor, and that is Caneswear. Go to Caneswear, located in Davie, Florida, just south of 595, and get all your Inter Miami gear. They actually have a new app. Go and go into your app store, whether it's on Google or Android or Apple, and download the Caneswear app. So there's another way to now buy your South Florida sports gear. So go check that out. Forgive me as I sniffle my way through this, Ed. I am sick. Thanks to my lovely daughter for getting me sick, but she blames my wife. She blames my wife, so it's all someone in the family got me sick. But here we are.
Well, Peter Brown, I'm excited with the World Cup. A lot of cool things happened, a lot of bad things happened, but what can we do? Where do you want to
Yeah,
start, Peter?
it's funny is I think we talked about this before on the show. Leading up to the World Cup, I hadn't been really following any of the national teams. Been so invested in Inter Miami that I've been kind of more club over country. But just watching that first U.S. game right off the bat, that says, okay, now this feels like a fun tournament, and I'm into the World Cup again, and it's fun. Although might as well start right with what just happened. You're wearing the shirt, Ed. The game Ecuador versus Ivory Coast. I mean, I thought the beginning of the game, I thought it was more Ivory Coast, but then that hydration break, and then it kind of changed, and Ecuador had their chances. They hit the post two or three times. I know that the goalkeeper made a good save as well. Ecuador had their chances. They just could not put it in the back of the net. And Ivory Coast, every time they touched the ball, I felt like they were dangerous.
Yeah, statistically, Ecuador dominated. I think they should have done better. But that's the way soccer is, man. Sometimes you just can't, do anything. And what's crazy is that it was they had a 19 game they didn't lose to 19 games.
Right.
That's a lot of games. And then so they came and lost against Ivory Coast, who Ivory Coast had just beaten France.
Yeah, they're looking
So
good.
they're a tough team, which means Ecuador is probably is a good team too. They still have a chance. They still got two games to go against Germany the next game, and then Curacao.
Well,
Germany's going to be tough, but
they'll at least get one win. They'll get the win against Curacao.
Yeah, it might not be enough. If they don't get a tie, it might not be enough to get in third place. So, well, let's see what happens. Everybody was hoping that Ecuador was going to be able to win against Ivory Coast. For a little bit, it looked like it did, man. But that's how it is.
Yeah, I thought you were at least going to get a point out of it, and then all of a sudden, there near the end of the game, just I was watching pretty much. I watched pretty much everything today. I just sat, since I was a little sick, just sat in my bed watching World Cup basically all day. Missed a little bit of the Holland second half because I fell asleep. Not because it was boring, just because I'm sick and I needed a rest. But that was so Ed, obviously you follow Ecuador and the US because your background is Ecuadorian, you are an American, and obviously I follow the US first and foremost, but then my wife is Brazilian, so I'm kind of obligated to cheer for Brazil. And then I kind of very casually cheer for the Netherlands because that's why I spell my name the way I do. So that was a fun game as well. So today was all around a fun game, fun day of World Cup.
Yeah, that game was interesting. I mean, it was don't hate me, but I was rooting for Japan.
How can you root for Japan?
Nah,
You know, the
I just like
Holland always, Netherlands, whatever you want to call it. They always they what do they call them? The best team to never have won the World Cup. They always make you
yeah.
feel like they should do better than they do. They
Yeah, they're a
somehow
team
just
that's they've always had like incredible stars,
great
you know,
players.
some incredible players, and they just haven't been able to seal the deal. And what I think they've gone to three finals or something like that, something crazy like that.
Yeah, through their history,
But
something like that.
so that's gotta suck, you know, going to the very final and losing three times. That's gotta suck. But yeah, I was rooting for Japan. Don't hate me, Peter Brown. I was rooting for Japan.
I don't understand that.
And yeah,
Why Japan?
well, listen,
Why are you gonna root for Japan when you know that I'm a Holland guy? You're my friend. Why you gonna root? I
I
was cheering for Ecuador for no
well, I
reason.
appreciate that.
For no
But
reason,
Holland, you
just
know,
because you're my buddy.
they
Why
had their
why you got to
chance,
go at
man. There was
Japan? What
no.
what you want to you like your Japanese TVs? You like your Japanese cars? I just bought a Japanese
I
car, but
do,
what's the
I
deal?
do. Yeah, yeah. I just thought, you know, I just like the way that they played. I think they're a very exciting, quick team. They're
Yeah, they're
basically
getting
all
better, but
counterattack.
you could cheer for them on another game. Cheer for them next week.
Well, you know, but that's just, you know, I didn't even think
So you know
about it,
what that
Peter,
tells
because.
me, Ed? I am a better friend
Hmm.
because I cheered for Ecuador, even though I couldn't really,
I rooted for Brazil.
Yeah,
I
but
rooted
that's
for
easy.
Brazil.
That's easy. They're just expected to be good all the time, right?
Yeah, well, I do root for all the Latin American teams in the United States and Canada. Anything in the North America and South America, I root for. But yeah, so far we've done pretty well. Except for Ecuador, I think they're the only, well, and Paraguay who lost, but it was against the United States, so you know it's all cool, all cool. But let's talk about the USA game, Peter Brown.
Well, let's before we do that,
That
I think we have a voicemail from One World One Goal. She called in earlier, and I think she might have something to do with talking about the Ecuador game and also leading into the U.S. game. So let's listen to what she has to say first.
It's time for your voicemail.
Hello.
Hey, Peter and Chi-Chi Uncle Ed and all the great fans out there and Don Bear and Yankee Boy, Sports Shorts. Too many of you guys to name, but you all are the best. Watching Ecuador, woohoo! This is the land of Chi-Chi and Don Bear from Marquitos. I think he's from Ecuador. Anyway, it was
yeah,
amazing to see USA, baby. They, it's funny because people are like critical of the coach for like, I don't know, 2 years, 4 years, just the way we are with our Inter Miami coaches. And then bam, the guy has them playing like a little mini Argentina. It was really good. So excited about USA. And when I'm watching Ecuador, it was really cool. They were over in Philadelphia climbing up the steps where the Rocky Balboa statue, Yo Adrian, where that is. And they're all singing my favorite song from the Fusion Days, which starts out with whistles, and then it's like, Esta noche tenemos que ganar, boom,
Even I know
boom,
that one.
boom, boom, vamos. We used to do it for Miami FC, we did it for Fusion, they do it for Ecuador. So my point is, I wish we would get a little more songs going on, not just the Argentine ones, and with La Familia when we get back to games. And also, they should do the one for David Beckham that they do in England, which is to Guantanamera, the famous Ceia Cruz Azúcar, song,
hmm
which goes, there's only one David Beckham, one David Beckham. Anyway, I won't give up my day job. So love you guys. Exciting times with the World Cup, and peace out.
She left a part two. Let's get to that real quick.
Oh, I forgot to say it's Italian one word, one goal, in case you couldn't remember. And congratulations to Beckham with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The dude is big time, I'm telling you. And Tom Cruise presented him. Then they went over to the World Cup game. So way to go, Bex. Sir Bex, that is to you. All right, thanks, guys. Peace out.
Since you brought up Beckham, before we get into the U.S. game, how many commercials is Beckham in this World Cup? He's in like
A
every
lot.
other commercial.
He's banking. That guy is banking. One of them is Bank of America too. Talk about bank.
Okay. And the funny thing I thought was funny is he's got a Home Depot commercial when his club, Inter Miami, has got to deal with Lowe's. You know, it's like a little bit of conflict. But personally, he's got a
Competition.
Home Depot deal,
Yeah.
it looks like. I mean, then he's also in that Lay's commercial where they're talking about getting on the bandwagon. I mean, he's in every commercial.
He is, man. I mean, stop it. Stop making that money, dude. Bring some over here too.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's
He's
a
making the money so he
billionaire.
could spend it on Inter Miami, maybe? I doubt it.
Yeah, well, he's a billionaire, now.
You know what he
So
needs to? He needs that money to spend more money on his wife's face. She looked like me and my wife were trying to debate a little bit about what kind of work she's recently had done. It looked like she's got some new work done, and it did not look. Yeah, I mean, it looked
I
very
haven't
plastic.
noticed. I haven't noticed, but why do the people do that, man? Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't. There was just a
Ah,
shot at her at one of the games, and I just thought, she looked.
she did some work.
Yeah, I think she's done some more work. Anyways, all right. USA. I mean, they came out. I think this is, to me, the best I've seen them in the longest time. I mean, I loved how every time they lost the ball, there was someone else to pick it up. You know, they were really playing for each other and moving the ball really, really, really well. Super impressed with all that.
Recuperating the ball. It's incredible because Paraguay is a very defensive team. They play hard. They foul a lot. They're in your face. But this game, they
Yeah, last
were,
time they
even though
played, there
they
was a fight.
tried. Yeah, they tried to do that, but they just I don't think they have the players to do that. The USA looks incredible,
Yeah.
and hopefully they'll keep that momentum going
And
because
I thought, again, I hadn't been watching any international games for a while, but just going by, what I thought from the past, maybe I was thinking that Paraguay might be a tough opponent, but clearly they were not. And then Gio Reyna getting that last goal outside the boot. How pretty was that goal?
that was incredible. I mean, not many players do that type of play. I guess he had the time to do it. I don't know. He wasn't hurt that much, and it came out incredible, man. When I saw that goal, I was like, "Whoa, dude!" He just made a statement. I mean, all the drama for your
Right,
mama that he had before
right.
kind of got erased with that. I mean, a lot of people may have criticized and said, why bring this guy? He's not playing much for his club team and blah blah blah. But dude, he made a statement right there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, well, a lot of times I'm watching the game, but I'm thinking of stupid stuff. What's up with Pochettino dressed like a mechanic?
That is a good question, man. I don't know.
All he
Maybe that's
needed
his
was a
style.
name patch. All he needed was a name patch that said Poach on there, and he could have done my oil change.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny too, but hey, that's his
But
style, dude. So
yeah. I
don't
just thought
cram
it was
his
funny.
style. Mm.
And there's been a lot of people complaining about him as well. And I loved how he celebrated with the team. I mean, it was like it really showed like this was the win that they needed, right, to kick off this tournament. Had they lost this game, I don't know, the whole tournament just could fall apart. Now it still could, but I mean, I
Yeah,
think we're all feeling really good right now.
I think they're feeling good right now. After that, because I mean, they that was an incredible game. I mean, the perfect game. I've never seen them play. Well, it was almost perfect. They had a couple of moments. I mean, they gave away that one goal, which they probably shouldn't have because they kind of like relaxed themselves or something. But if there was a perfect game for the United States, it was that one.
Yeah. Sorry for all the coughs, folks. um, Sport Shorts had mentioned that Paraguay had the second best defense in CONMEBOL. So, and he also made a comment
First was
about.
Ecuador.
Well, there you go. He also made a comment that the U.S. The defense is the main problem. Tim Ream didn't play terrible, but he isn't the fastest, and I believe Australia is a quick team up front. Tim Ream's like 38 years old. He's the oldest American player to ever play in a World Cup.
Wow.
I heard that stat
They
on the when they were during the game. I don't, I didn't look it up or anything, but that was a stat that I heard during the game.
Well, against Australia, it's going to be something because Australia looks so good. I mean, did you see that game against Turkey?
I did not. That was the midnight game, and no, I did not
I
watch that one.
saw it, and I fell asleep on and off. I was watching it, trying to watch it.
I watched
And
most of
Peter,
the games, but I did miss that one.
Australia is, they played so well. They were
Yeah.
like, they did everything perfect. On paper, Turkey should have won that game. But, this isn't paper, man. This is, 11 versus 11. And Australia did incredible. So we got to be careful, man. The United States have to be careful because, I mean, these guys, they're on a momentum like we are. So we
Yeah, and
can't hold anything back.
before this tournament started, when you just saw the group, I thought Turkey would have been the harder team. I know Australia has been good in the past, but that was a long time ago. They've had some moments, about 20 years ago, maybe, where they were pretty good, maybe a little bit less than that, but they had a couple good players. But, that game sounds like it's going to be very, very challenging. Unfortunately, you know what I don't like is that it's at 3 p.m. on a Friday. Could it be a little bit later? So what's going to end up happening is I'm going to have to not watch any social media. Can't look at any social media, and then just watch the game when I get home around 7:30. Because now, just filling in, because I had mentioned this on the show once before that, I had lost my job. Well, I got a new one, but it's in Hialeah, which is convenient for those Inter-Miami Wednesday night games. Man, I'm so close to the stadium. It's going to be a breeze. But I can't watch the games during the day, and so I'll have to watch them when I get home, which will be.
It isn't like your old job where you're able to,
Well, I was working
have the
from home
computer on
I was working from the home in the past, and I could do my work, but still have a TV on in the background. But I can't do that now because I'm physically at the shop. So
fiddlesticks, Peter Brown.
Oh
Oops.
no! There you go.
Messed up
Showing
my
off your
phone.
Ecuador shirt again. And speaking of Ecuador, Ricky is in the chat. He made a comment. Where was it? I thought it was funny.
I'm at Ricky's house right now. Yeah.
Oh, you're at Ricky's house.
Yeah, he moved back. I'm trying
He's
to
back.
convince him to get back on the Spanish show.
All right.
So we'll see if that happens. But yeah.
Here's what he said that I thought was funny. Ecuador lost because of the Rocky curse.
Yeah, did you see what they did? They put a shirt on Rocky, and apparently you're not supposed to do that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that was a problem.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That's like a what's it called? Superstition.
Yeah, sure.
You don't put the shirt or whatever on Rocky, and apparently, I actually know, or a cousin of mine knows the guy that put the shirt on. So, and a lot of people are asking, do you know who the guy is that did that? They're gonna lynch the poor guy.
Oh man.
So I'm not getting poor guy. He's gonna have to run for his life. But yeah, it is unfortunate. Those things happen. And I'm not too much with the superstition thing.
Me neither. But sports people are. So,
Rocky is like the Pope.
To some people, I guess maybe in Philadelphia.
He's the dude.
Yeah. So, anyways, Friday game, USA versus Australia, I think will be challenging. At this point, if we could get a point out of that, I think that's a success. And then you go and you beat Turkey. Now, of course, I want to win. And if they play, I still think if they play like they did Friday, yes, I think they'll be able to get through. Get through to. I think we finish first in the group if they continue playing that way. Now, of course, we'll do this show again next week. Keep in mind, folks, so as we do the show, we did take a couple weeks off. I think it was a couple weeks. My fault. Life changes. Got a new job. Things like that. But we'll do this show on future Sundays. But it's probably going to be like today, where we fit it in where we can, right? Because we don't want to necessarily miss the games. So like this show, we're probably going to end in about 10 minutes so that Ed can go hang out with Ricky and we can go watch that, Switzerland game. Sweden.
Switzerland. Yeah.
No,
Sweden game. Yeah.
The other SW team.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I mean,
so
I think this whole World Cup thing is messing up our schedules, Peter Brown.
Messing up the schedule, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Okay, I got a couple non on the field top things. Sort of. Well, let's before we wrap things up, and like I said, we're going to keep this kind of short. We may do that throughout this month, but the hydration breaks. How do you feel about the hydration breaks? Now, the hydration breaks aren't new. Like, some people are asking, like, where did these come from? I had people over my house yesterday to watch the Brazil game, and they were like, when did this start? And I knew it had been going on for a while. Especially we see it here in Miami quite often. But it started, and I Googled it. It started in 2014 in the Brazil game. But it's specifically only brought out when it's needed. Now it's actually scheduled. Like, it is exactly at the 25th minute or thereabout, whenever the ball goes out within that time frame. And they're doing hydration breaks because of the weather, right? That's what it's for. Inside of a dome or inside of an like at the Dallas Stadium, where it's an inside AC stadium. Houston Stadium is I think got a retractable roof, but the roof is closed. Same thing in LA. LA's got I think it's retractable as well. I'm not sure if it retracts, but it's definitely covered. Have they played in Atlanta yet?
I think they have already played in
Atlanta. So we're talking about like 4 or 5 of these stadiums have a roof, and they're doing hydration breaks.
Yeah, I guess it's a new rule, and Peter, it's affected the play because some teams are dominating, the first half, and once that hydration thing happens, it gives the other team momentum.
You saw it today.
It changes the whole.
You saw it in the Ecuador game. I think before the hydration break, I think Ivory Coast was looking better, in my opinion. Not they didn't like own the game, right? But I think they looked a little more fluid. And then after the hydration break, Ecuador's turned it around and was playing much better. I think it definitely went into their. It's almost like have they done this to Americanize the game? Are we now going to look at this at soccer as like an NFL game with 4 quarters? Is that where we're going?
It's giving them commercial breaks because they go directly
I hate the commercial breaks, Ed. They come back from the commercial breaks late.
Money. It's all money, Peter.
And exactly. And we know FIFA likes money. And, but it'll be interesting to see if this continues. Did they come up with this because it's in America? And that, hey, Americans are used to this. If we're ever going to bring it out, let's bring it out when it's in America because the Americans will embrace that. It's time to get up and go get your new beer.
Yeah, and you know what? They're just going to go with it from here on because they said, well, we did it in the United States, so, we should continue doing that throughout.
You know what they're going to say? Exactly. You know what they're going to say is our ratings didn't go down. People didn't stop watching, and we made more money on ads. It's going to stick around.
Yeah, it's going to stick around. It's a thing.
I don't like it. And I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, is Telemundo's got the Spanish games, right?
Yeah.
And I assume you watched it on Telemundo. Do they go to commercial break?
They did go to commercial break.
Okay. Because I had heard that there was some broadcasts that were not going to commercial break. Obviously not Fox.
No, they didn't. Yeah. Fox, they're going to do it. And Telemundo did it also. So, everybody's making money. Don't worry about it, Peter.
I'm just wondering if like, one is more greedy than the other,
I think they're all greedy.
I mean,
it comes down to it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like, Telemundo is the Latino channel, but it's still American. It's still in America. So
yeah. But
Young 305 says he switched it up to Telemundo to see the cooling break. So he's saying that in the hydration break.
Oh, he started. They went to commercial, but they did come back. I don't know if the second half they showed. I know in the first half they did do it, so maybe they didn't on the second half. I think I saw commercials, but anyways, they're gonna make money off of it.
Sports Short says he noticed that the commentator in one of the games said the first quarter is over. See, we're Americanizing it. We're Americanizing the sport. And did you also notice? I mean, some of the rules that were put into place in MLS about substitutions, about injuries, are now in place in this World Cup. So if you, in MLS, they brought this out a couple years ago that if you go down and the medical staff has to come out, you have to. Well, no, what was it? I forgot it in MLS. I think it was if the medical staff came out, you had to leave the game at minimum of 2 minutes. Now, the one in the World Cup is a little bit different. The medical staff doesn't have to come out. If they stop it, you're out for 1 minute as opposed to the 2 minutes. But it's still a variation of what was done in MLS. The same thing when the substitutions, you have like 10 seconds to get off the pitch, which is something they were doing in MLS as well. That has now been implemented in the World Cup.
Yeah, I like that because they won't waste time and today, I don't think you waste much time. I mean, they're giving the minutes back for the hydration breaks at the end of the game, so I think it's working out.
Should they Americanize it one step further and just stop the clock at the hydration break? Why tack on extra 3 minutes? Because now the extra minutes. We're always going to add on some extra minutes, but they're guaranteed to add on 3 minutes. So when you see it's like a 5 minute add on, it's really only 2. So they might as well just stop the clock then. Like let's go on all in and Americanize it. That's what they're doing anyways. We'll piss off everybody.
Yeah, tell Infantino, hey bud, I think you should do this, and maybe he'll listen to you.
Oh yeah, he'll listen to me.
The FIFA president might. Who knows?
Oh yeah. All right, Ed, what else you got?
Peter Brown.
What else should we touch on?
What other games did we watch? Well, the 7-1 massacre of Curacao.
So Curacao was interesting too. I was cheering for them. I wanted the underdog to win, and actually, Miami FC, not Inter Miami, but Miami FC goalkeeper, Elroy Room. I may be saying his first name wrong. His last name is Room. He is goalkeeper for Curacao and also the current goalkeeper for Miami FC. How about that?
Yeah, and you know what? The guy that scored, I believe, is also a Miami FC player. He's also a Miami. Yeah, he's the guy that scored was from the team. So
Is he?
I noticed that he was the goal scorer and the goalie for Miami FC, and all the rest of the players play in Europe. So
exactly.
Miami FC.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they may stand a chance to have not against Germany, but against some of these other teams, maybe because most of their players are from Europe. So
they're all from Europe. They were just, I don't know. I just believe Germany was they were playing pretty decently in the first half, and they just couldn't hold on. When they tied it, I was like, dude, can it be a miracle? Could Curacao pull this off? But no.
And then we also had, again, real quick, we'll touch on real fast, Brazil versus Morocco. Brazil not looking as good as they should, but Morocco's
a good team.
Morocco's a good team, exactly. It's no slouch, but you expect better from Brazil. Let's be honest.
From Brazil, the truth is Brazil isn't as good as it has been in the past.
No, they're not.
So,
and that's obvious.
They're only, you could tell. Yeah. They just don't have the stars that they used to. I mean, they got stars, but they just they're not as good as the past stars, man.
But folks, I don't know if you were watching that game and you're focusing on Casemiro. I was watching him play, trying to see because rumor is he's coming to Inter Miami. I mean, nothing official, right? But
they've talked about Van Dijk too. Did you see him? He scored for Holland.
I did see that. There's no chance that we're getting Van Dijk. I mean, no. I guess with Inter Miami, there's always a chance. There's always a chance.
I was going to say that. With my Inter Miami, and everyone wants to play for Inter Miami, Pieter.
Yeah, there's always a chance, but it just doesn't
will the league help us? I think maybe they will.
Maybe. And then real quick, Haiti versus Scotland. Just wanted to mention that because Haiti, just happy to see them in the World Cup. It's been 52 years since they were in the World Cup, and I think it was like 26 or 27 years or 28 years for Scotland. So both teams, in the World Cup. So somebody in the chat had said that Haiti got robbed.
I think so. I think they should have done. They should have given. I forgot what the play was, but I'm not sure if it would have been a penalty or what it was. But
it all starts blending together.
They played well, dude. They deserved the tie at least.
And then real quick, tomorrow we got Spain versus Cabo Verde. And when we have more time, let's a topic to touch on for next week's show is 48 teams in this World Cup. You would never have a country like Cabo Verde in this World Cup, but we could talk about that next week to go in more depth about that. But so we've got tomorrow we've got Spain playing. It'll be fun to see them, obviously, but it's not much of a challenge. You're not going to play some of your better players like Lamine. I can't even say his name. Is Lamine Yamal.
You're close enough. We'll go.
It's a tongue twister for me. Then we got Belgium and Egypt at 3 p.m. and then Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, which is here in Miami. That's the only game that I saw in Miami that's under $1,000 because nobody really cares, I guess, about going to see either of those two teams. Bielsa complaining about the coach complaining about this country again. He didn't like it in the CONMEBOL tournament. He doesn't like it now. And then Iran versus New Zealand. There was actually a story I just saw that there's a lawsuit Iran filed on behalf of Iran because they want to bring in one of their Iranian flags. It's like the pre-revolutionary flag. So they're not allowed to bring it in, but they filed a lawsuit to try to bring it in. I mean, it just popped up literally like 30 minutes before doing this show on The Athletic, so I read it. It's important to them, I guess, but it's considered political, and so they're saying no, but who knows? It's funny when you're going to get courts involved just so you could bring a flag into a soccer game.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Well,
which of those games tomorrow are you most excited to watch, Ed?
Oh man, Peter. Probably the one that's going to affect me is the Uruguay game because that's going to make a lot of traffic happen. And so that was the one I'm most concerned
about. Same here.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah, for you.
Well, actually, I the first week I was driving down to Miami, I was driving past that stadium, but I found an alternate way to get there, which is taking the Sawgrass to I-75 and I-75 down to Gratney Parkway, I think it is, and then just taking local roads. It's faster, it's easier, it's no traffic. That's the way to go.
Yeah, and you're going to stay away from the stadium, so that's a good idea.
I stay away from the stadium that way. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I think that was the one that's going to concern me the most.
Yeah. I want to see Spain, but like I said, it's not like you're really going to see what Spain is made out of because they're going to
tear those poor guys. Yeah. Sometimes it's not fair. I think there's too many teams.
All right, let's save that because we could go into that in more detail. I want to wrap this up because I actually do want to go and watch that Sweden game, and I'm sure you want to go have a beer with Ricky or whatever, and enjoy watching the game as well.
And my friend Xavier and everybody else that's waiting for me.
All right, because you're Mr. Popular. Everybody likes to hang out with Uncle Ed. All right, Ed, are you going to be doing any Spanish shows in this time period?
Hoping to do one tomorrow, so it might come out on Tuesday, so be ready for that one. And I think that's it, Peter Brown.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next week. See you, everybody.